Hello, my dear participants. Welcome back again to the final session on this theory part of this workshop. Today, we are going to see the interpretation of NMR spectra. Right? We have seen the NMR spectra, the theory part in the previous class. Now, what to look at it? As far as structural elucidation is considered, what are the things you have to note in the NMR spectra? Right? First, you have to note how many signals are there. That gives an information about the number of sets of equivalent protons. Because equivalent protons altogether gives one signal that we have already seen in the previous lecture. And therefore you have to see the number of signal, because the number of signal also may give some clue to solve your problem, right? Sometimes. Then you have to see the chemical shift value of the signal. That gives the chemical environment in which the proton is present, and therefore it is very essential to see the chemical shift value of the signal. Then you have to see the multiplicity of the signal. If you see the multiplicity, then it shows the number of neighbors, the number of neighboring proton present in the molecule, but also present in the molecule to the signal. And fourth, you have to see the intensity of the signal. That says, actually the intensity of the signal is calculated by the area under the curve, not straight away the intensity, the height of the signal. It's not the height of the signal. Actually we use to calculate the intensity, actually the area under the curve, and that's why you can see in most of the NMR spectra there is an integral symbol across each signals. And that means if there is any integral symbol and over that some value, that means the area is calculated, and that is the value of the area of the peak. Right? That intensity, what information that intensity provides you? That intensity gives you the number of hydrogen present in that particular set of protons. That is the direct measure of area under the curve is the direct measure of number of hydrogen of the signal. There is one more thing you have to look into, which I did not put here, that is coupling constant value. Sometimes that helps you to find out the structure for the molecule. Right. Now let us look into some of the examples. What number of signals can do for you? Take an example of a molecule with formula C5H12. There are several isomers possible for this molecule, this formula. Which spectrum will distinguish between those? You can see here, this is N-pentane, isopentane, neopentane. If you calculate double bond equivalent, that is 0, and therefore it is a simple hydrocarbon. You need not worry. There is no ring. Even if there is ring is present, then there will be double bond equivalent 1, and therefore double bond equivalent is 0 for this molecule, and therefore it is an aliphatic chain, that you know very well, hydrocarbon. But which spectrum, which data will distinguish between these three? Right? Mass. Absolutely, mass can show a difference, because this will show different peak at different successively at 14 difference, that you can see here. In mass spectra, here you can see a base peak at 57, here base peak at 43, and here base peak at 57. But though it is different, but it will not say clearly which spectrum is which. Can UV? No, because all are saturated. This compound is UV transparent almost. Right? It has only sigma to sigma star transition. No other transition is possible in this molecule, and therefore it is almost UV transparent. UV gives no clue. What about IR? IR will give only peak at CH stretching. There is no other peak. It will give some bending vibration, but bending vibration we cannot use to distinguish. Right? You may need a computer software to compare and say which is. And therefore NMR will distinguish between these three molecules. How? For example, if you take this molecule, if the number of signal in NMR can be identified by the symmetry of the molecule. Symmetry of the molecule plays an important role in if there is a plane here, you can make a plane here. If you make a plane here, these two sides look identical. When the two sides look identical, altogether they give only one signal. For example, these two CH2 look identical in the mirror plane, and therefore these two will give same signal. And this CH3 will look identical, therefore these two CH3 will give the same signal. And therefore symmetry plays very important role. All those that look identical in the mirror will give a same signal, right? And therefore these two CH2 will look identical in the mirror. If it is not identical, if the mirror image is not identical, they will give different signal. If the mirror image is identical, altogether they will give same signal. You can consider like this. Therefore, if you keep a mirror here, these two will exactly reflect, and therefore this CH3 and this CH3 will give one signal, and these two CH2 and this CH2 will give one signal. There is two signal, and this CH2 one signal. Therefore this molecule gives only three signals, though there are five carbon atom. It will give only three signals. What about this molecule? You can keep a plane here. If you keep a plane here, the CH3, the left and right side are different, and therefore they will give different signals. And if you keep a plane here, if the molecule is right, the molecule is symmetrically written. If you keep the plane here, these two CH3 will look alike, right? And therefore these two altogether give one signal. Therefore 2 CH3 together gives one signal, 1 CH1 2 CH2 1 3, this CH3 1. There are 4 signal that this molecule gives. If you take this molecule is highly symmetric in any direction, and therefore all the CH3 together gives only one signal. Therefore now you can distinguish all the compounds. You can have, if any answer is given, an hydrocarbon having molecular formula C5H12, that gives only one signal, that means it is neopentane. An hydrocarbon having molecular formula C5H12 that gives 3 signal, that means it is N-pentane. An hydrocarbon having molecular formula that gives 4 signals, that's enough. No other data you need, that you can clearly find out. That's how in many situations NMR can able to distinguish based on number of signal. You need not worry about multiplicity, you need not worry about chemical shift value, all those things. They will exactly match, but only using the number of signal also you can, just by using the number of signal, you can predict the molecules, right? Let me take another example where number of signal won't work. In that case you have to see the multiplicity. For example, take this molecule, you have CH3. If you say in this direction it is symmetrical, in this direction it is symmetrical, in this direction it is symmetrical, and therefore all the CH3 together gives only one signal, and this CH1 gives one signal. Therefore number of signal for this molecule is 2. If you take this molecule, what it says, this CH3 and this CH3 will look like, are in same chemical environment. They together gives one signal, and these two CH2 together gives one signal, and therefore this compound gives 2 signals. And with respect to number of signal, these two compounds C4H10 gives the same. The isomers of C4H10 gives only one signal, same signal, same, that is two signals. How will you distinguish? And therefore NMR cannot, a number of signal cannot distinguish, IR cannot distinguish. However, mass can able to distinguish, because this will give 57 as but it cannot produce a structure. Molecular by mass cannot produce structure, therefore it is UV transparent. And in NMR, number of signal is helpless. And then what will help? Multiplicity will help you to solve this problem. Which spectrum? Right, if you take this compound, multiplicity is calculated by 2s plus 1 formula, where s is the total spin of the proton, that is coupling, spin-spin coupling. Multiplicity occur due to spin-spin coupling, that you know very well. That is, if this proton gives signal, this proton is coupled by all these 9 protons, and therefore the signal will split into 9 into half, 2 into 9 by 2 plus 1, right? S is equal to, S is here 9, half, total spin, 9 halves are 4 and half. No. Right, 4 and half. 9 halves are 4 and half. That is, the signal is 9 by 2. Okay, the total spin is 9 by 2. If you cancel 2 cancels out, and 9 plus 1, it will give 10 signals. Or you can use this formula n plus 1, that is number of hydrogen plus 1. There are 9 hydrogen plus 1. Therefore, this signal split into 10. This signal split into 10. What about this signal? And this signal, the neighbor for this CH3 proton is 1 hydrogen. Therefore, 1 plus 1, 2. And altogether this signal will give a doublet, but this will give a octet, a decade, right? 10, it will split into 10. If you take this compound, right, here it is the CH3 are surrounded by CH2. The neighbor for the CH2, the neighbor for the CH3 is CH2, and therefore it will split into 3. CH2, 2 proton, 2 plus 1, 3, and therefore this CH3 will split into 3. But what about the CH2? For this CH2, there are neighboring 6 proton, and therefore this 6 will split this signal, and therefore it will give a septet. But therefore, by seeing multiplicity, number of signal won't help, but by seeing the multiplicity and also intensity, these two will help, right? Number of signals same, chemical shift also almost same, and multiplicity is different. This gives a decade and a doublet, and this gives a triplet and a septet. In intensity, the intensity ratio is 1:9 here. Here 1 proton, here it is 9 proton. 1:9 is a single, but here it is 4:6. That means 1:3. And therefore, these two things can help differentiate this spectrum, these two molecules. And therefore, NMR is, in some other cases, there are some other cases in which all of them will be identical. Take this molecule. There are 2 protons. All the 2 protons are in same environment. This compound gives only 1 signal. Number of signal is same. If you take this compound, this gives only 1 signal, because these 2 are identical. Here also these 2 are identical, and therefore this also gives 1 signal, this also gives 1 signal. What about chemical shift? the same environment, pi bond chlorine, chlorine, pi bond chlorine to chlorine, and therefore almost chemical shift is same. What about the intensity? It has 2 hydrogen, and therefore intensity, it also has 2 hydrogen. Intensity is same. What about multiplicity? These together gives one signal, and therefore there is no splitting it. It will give what? Same. But how we can coupling constant value will say about, right? Here actually there is no coupling constant, but if there is any CH group here, I have taken a wrong example actually. If there is another group, some other group which can couple, now you can consider the coupling constant value. Now the coupling constant value will say whether the compound is cis or trans isomer. Let us take an example, a compound with molecular formula C5H10O. If you calculate double bond equivalent, therefore there will be 5 minus 10 by 2, that is equal to 5, and 5 minus 5 equal to 0, plus 1, 1, and therefore the double bond equivalent will be 1. Right, this is the NMR spectra of the compound. Can we able to find out the structure for this molecule? Let us analyze the NMR spectra in detail. Right, what is this signal is about? First signal, you can see this is a signal around 0.9, which splits into 3. Therefore it is a triplet. It has 3 hydrogen. A 3 hydrogen signal which splits into 3. What would be the possibility? It is CH3, because it has 3 hydrogen here. It is CH3 group, and it has a neighbor 2. How I am saying that it has a neighbor 2? Because it splits into 3. By 2 plus 1 it is equal to 3, and therefore it should have 2. And therefore this signal gives me an information that it is a CH3 that is connected to a CH2. Right. Let me analyze another signal. What about this signal? And this signal is a multiplet. You can see 2, 4, 6. It is a sextet. That means there should be 5 hydrogen. Right. It is the signal is due to 2 hydrogen, and therefore I am writing it is CH2. But it is surrounded by CH3 and CH2. Right. It is surrounded by CH2 and CH2. This CH3 may be this CH3. This CH3 may be this signal. Right. But I am writing in a different way, but there may be relation between this signal and this signal. Since there is a relation, then only you are getting multiplicity. But I am analyzing individual signal. Later we will combine which and which is there. Okay, I think you understood. We have found a CH3 here. That CH3 may be coupling with this CH2. Since it is a septet, there must be one more CH2. I write here. That may be the signal of this compound. Right. Let us see later. And therefore, by the analysis of this signal, we came to know that this is a signal of CH2, but it is surrounded by a neighbor 5. But neighbor 5, the possibility is CH3, CH2. There is a possibility, and therefore I wrote like that. Then, what about this signal? You can see the signal is due to 3 hydrogen, but it is not splitted. It is not splitted. It is just a singlet. That means it has no neighbor. It is an isolated CH3 group, which is not connected to any CH2 or CH any group. That you have to consider. And then, what about this signal? This is 2 hydrogen, therefore I can take this is a CH2, but neighbor is 2, CH2. That can also be inferred here, this CH2, right? This CH2, there is a neighbor CH2, and therefore it works out. Okay, we have analyzed, and we have analyzed the signal and its multiplicity. Now we have not analyzed one thing, that is chemical shift. The chemical shift value here is 0.9. That means it is a free proton. It is not connected to any electronegative group, or it is not connected to any aromatic ring or a pi electron cloud or any electronegative atom. It is free. That is the meaning. When it is around below 1, it is free. That means it is far away from the electronegative or the electronic cloud. That is it. But here it is 1.6. It is little closer to electronegative group or something like that. It is little closer to that. You can see here it is around 2.1. That means the 2.1 is a signal that it is maybe adjacent to. That's these 3 hydrogen may be adjacent to a carbonyl group. Right? That is another. Here also it is 2.4. It may be also this CH2 also adjacent to carbonyl group. Right? If you take all this information together, you can see here this is the CH3, and therefore this CH3 and this CH3 are same. Okay, therefore let me leave this, and this CH2 and this CH2 may be same. These two CH2 may be same, right? And therefore I leave that structure, and these CH3 CH2 is already reflected here, and therefore I take this structure here, and this CH2 has reflected here, and this CH2 is CH2 reflected here, and therefore this fragment I take. If you take this fragment, I can explain this CH3 is this signal, and this CH2 is this signal, and this CH2 is this signal. In order to explain individual peak, I have put all those things. But in order to, we have to couple everything together, and therefore, and one more thing, if you see here, the CH3, CH2, CH2, collectively, and there is one more isolated CH3. If you take the molecular formula of these fragments, it comes around C4H10. But there is one more thing remaining, that is CO is remaining, and that actually works well with the spectra, right? Match well with the spectra. That is, there is a presence of carbonyl group that we can see by the chemical shift value. Here where we have to connect the carbonyl group, you can see, and this CH2 you have to connect 2.4. This is where you have to connect the carbonyl group CH2, and therefore I am going to connect the carbonyl here. Okay, and this CH3 also connected to carbonyl, and therefore the CO group is connected between the CH2 and the CH3, and that is visible by this chemical shift value, and therefore the formula would be like this: CH3 CH2 CH2 CH3 CH2 CH2, and this CH2 is connected to a carbonyl, and this isolated CH3 is connected to carbonyl. This is not there is no adjacent hydrogens to this CH3 group, therefore it gives a singlet, right? As I have already said, you should not take only the height of the spectrum to calculate the intensity. Can you see here, this is 3 hydrogen, this is also 3 hydrogen, but the height is different because this is singlet and this is a triplet. Okay, by this you can find out, and you have to analyze each and every spectra and combine all the information together to produce the structure, right? Let us take another example. This is little more complicated than the previous, right? Let us analyze one by one, right? If you take this example, the molecular formula is C8H14O3. If you calculate double bond equivalent, that comes around 2. There should be 2 double bond in the compound. That is the inference, and we have to deduce a compound, a structure that contains 2 double bond. Okay, let us analyze one by one. What should be the peak? Let us see A. The peak 1, that is A. What information I get from that A? It is a triplet. It is around 1 ppm, and it has 3 hydrogen, and it is a triplet. And 3 hydrogen, this 3 hydrogen will not be given by NMR spectra, but instead you will get an integral value that I said earlier, that using that integral value you can calculate the ratio that I will say in the next class. But we will analyze the spectrum, how we are getting this 3 hydrogen. Will NMR spectrum, when you will get this number? Definitely not. Definitely you are not. But in order to explain the spectra, I am using this. In a separate video, we will explain, while we solving the problem, we will explain how to calculate the number of hydrogens. You will be given only the integral values, area under the curve. Using that, you have to calculate the number of hydrogen, right? That we will see later. But let us analyze. The A is due to a CH3 because there is 3 hydrogen and there is a neighboring CH2. Why I used a CH2 connected to CH3? Because it is splitted into 3. When it is splitted into 3, that means there should be 2 neighboring, and therefore I connected to CH2 group. Now let us take this as, let us analyze the second spectrum, the second signal. That also due to CH3. This is also CH3 because there is 3 hydrogen. This also splits into 3. This also split into 3. And therefore, it is another CH3 is there. It is not the same CH2 that gives 2 signal. That is not possible. And therefore, I can think of one more CH3 group, right, in the molecule. Because it is also CH3 and it is split into 2. But you can compare the chemical shift value, it is little higher, and therefore this CH3 is far away from any electronegative group, and this is somewhat closer. This CH3 is somewhat closer, and that is another information that I get from the value 1.4, 1.3 something, right? That is not closer to anything, to some extent in the chain compared to this. It is closer, right? Let me explain the spectrum signal 3. This signal is 2, 4, 6. It is a sextet. It is a sextet. It splits into 3 signal. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The signal splits into 6, and therefore it is if it is splits into 6, there must be 5 hydrogen, right? I can also, what I can say this CH2 is C. This CH2 or this CH2. I can take any of these 2 CH2 to be C of the signal that is connected to another CH2. You can see here, this CH2 part may be from any of these 2. That we will see which actually. Any of these 2, that CH2 connected to another CH2. That's the information I get, because it's split into 6 and there should be 5 hydrogen neighboring, this side 3 and this side 2, and therefore it is 5. This is how I interpret this signal. Let me take another signal, and that signal also just somewhat closer, around 1.7, somewhat closer to any electronegative group, right? Another CH2. There is another CH2 with a triplet. That means it connected to CH2. It connected to CH2 group. But if you see the values, chemical shift value, it is around 2.6. Therefore, it is possibly directly connected to carbonyl. This CH2 possibly directly connected to carbonyl, right? And therefore, let us analyze another signal E, and that E is a singlet. This E is singlet. You can see the value is 3.5, and therefore it should be highly electronegative environment, this CH2, but it is a singlet. It present alone. It is not connected to any other CH2 or CH3 group. Let us analyze the final signal, which has it is a quartet. Quartet means it is connected to, that means this F is connected to CH3. Now these are the 6 signals. that we have seen, we have to eliminate some of them, right? This CH3 CH2 and this CH2, here we have seen some CH2 D. I can consider this CH2 as D. This CH2 is D and this CH2 is C. You can see here these two repeating. You can see here these two are repeating, and therefore I can ignore this structure. I take this structure, right? CH2 CH3, and therefore in this one of them CH3, either B or A has to couple with this, right? One has to be eliminated. Which has to be eliminated? Which has lowest value, and therefore this is long, and therefore I take A. I take A connected to here because there is no electronegative group, and therefore I connect. Therefore A and this part of the molecule and this part of the molecule are combined together to give this, and therefore these two cannot be considered, and therefore take only these two, and there is a separate. But there is a portion called CH3 CH2 CH2. Okay, why I am eliminating this? Because it is an integral part of this structure. Why I am eliminating this? This is integrate part of these two. Therefore these two fragments are integral part of this fragment. Okay, can you, I think this CH3, this is A, okay, this is C, and this is D, and therefore I am eliminating this D, and therefore eliminating A. Now you can see here what this fragment is accepted, this fragment we can delete, and there is one more fragment. If you consider, and there is one fragment which is not, and these two can be this fragment, and this fragment is integral part of this fragment, and therefore I am leaving, I am not considering these two fragments because they already present in this fragment. Similarly, and this fragment and this fragment, you can combine these two. These two are integral part, and therefore I can omit any of the two, right? If this is B and this is F actually, or this is F, this is B, both are same, and therefore you need not consider. And the only thing that we have to consider is this fragment and this fragment and this fragment, and therefore there is a CH3 CH2 CH2 fragment, because there should be, you cannot consider all the fragments because only there are 6 signals, and therefore only you have to consider 6 carbon. Those 6 carbon are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All other things are not considered because they are considered here, already they are integral part of any of these 3 fragments. And therefore we have identified a CH3 CH2 CH2 fragment and a CH3 CH2 fragment and an isolated CH2 fragment. If you combine all these 3, the molecular formula comes around C6H14. Molecular formula comes around C6H14. There is a remaining C2O3. C2O3 is remaining. That can be a carbonyl. These are all guessing. We don't say it's there straight away. But this can be confirmed by carbon 13 NMR that we will discuss in the next session. But while we discussing, before we start the structural elucidation, I will give some input about carbon 13. Right? And therefore, if you combine all those things, right, combine this CH3, but how to combine all those things? There is a CH3, CH2, CH2 part, and there is a CH3, CH2 part, and there is an isolated CH2 part. Where to join all of them? Using which chemical shift value gives an information where to join. And this fragment, if you take CH2, and this is CH2D, this is CH2D, that means 2.5, that says it is connected to a carbonyl group, and therefore you can connect a carbonyl here, CO here, that means, right? But here this CH2E is a little higher, more than carbonyl, and therefore there is one more COO group is possible, and therefore the CH2 is not connected to any other hydrogen. Therefore we can put this CH2 in between two hydrogen, two carbonyl group, and there is a two carbonyl group, right? Here if you consider another CH2 group, that is CH2F, which is more, which is a little higher, and that is directly connected to oxygen of the ester group, and therefore it is an evident, and therefore this CH2 has to be connected to oxygen of ester group, and the CH2 has to be connected to carbonyl of the group. Now combining all this data, we can get this structure that we can see here, that CH3, CH2, CH2 fragment, one fragment, there is another fragment CH3, CH2 fragment, there is one more fragment CH2 fragment. We identified all these three fragments in order to join the CH2 CH3 fragment, that is denoted as F. This is that has higher chemical shift value because it is connected to oxygen directly. This CH2 that is denoted as D has lower chemical shift value around 2.5, that exactly matches with the carbonyl, right? And this CH2 is little higher, around 3 point something, because it is connected to two carbonyls, and therefore all the values, multiplicity, number of signal, or chemical shift value exactly matches with the structure. This is how you have to find out a structure for a molecule using NMR. You can see the NMR gives more information where to connect these two. The 2D NMR gives, but we are just making a comparison whether to connect here, whether to connect there. It is just a comparison. It is not by the spectra. Spectra doesn't give, but we we are the interpreter making a decision where to connect. This is how one-dimensional NMR works to find out the structure. But if you take 2D NMR, it will say where to connect. Exactly, the spectrum itself will say which and which are related and which are not related. That is 2D. When we see the 2D NMR, we can able to, it will exactly say where to connect. Right. I think with this I finished because I am not going to confuse. That's why I gave only two structure, and therefore you will be given an assignment or quiz where you have to find the number of signals, where you have to find the multiplicity, like that. Questions will be like that. You try to interpret. I will give only simple molecule. I don't give molecules like this. I am not going to give molecule like this. I am going to give simple molecules. Kindly try to attend those and try to practice those molecules. Then you will be able to solve some complicated problems. Okay. Thank you very much. Happy learning. Thank you.